is Shino Nakamichi.
Hi, my name is Shino Nakamichi and you're watching my first ever YouTube video. And for today's video, I thought it'd be interesting to talk about my journey as an actor. So sit tight, get your snacks, get your water, get your food, and hopefully this helps you in your journey or you learn a thing or two, or you're just watching this for entertainment. Me personally, I have my water and I have my cheese puffs. Also, if you see me looking down, I'm looking down at my notes. So in 2019, I was 13 years old and I had told my mom I wanted to do acting. I want to take an acting class far away where no one I know is gonna be taking the class. So we ended up signing up for this class that was an hour and a half away. And it was every weekend. I forgot for how long. It was for a few months though. So this class was specifically for commercial acting, but it also taught about TV and film, and it taught me about the basics. What a slate is. I didn't even know what a slate was. How to do a self-tape. Here's my first ever slate slash self-tape that I had filmed in my middle school.
Shino Nakamichi. Are you tired of seasonal allergies? Animal allergies got you down?
Clearly it's not the best work you've ever seen, but it did help me graduate this class in January of 2020. I ended up signing up for this workshop that this school that I went to had provided, and it was led by this TV and film management. I ended up telling my teacher we'd like to sign her, but they didn't discuss anything formal, and then in March I found out that they dropped their initial offer. But since I ended up not getting signed with this management, my teacher ended up connecting me with my mother agent, and I ended up signing with her and took my first ever headshots with her. Right. Yuck. After I signed with her, there was a whole year where I didn't get work, obviously all of 2020, cause like COVID, duh. But in July of 2021, when I was 15, my mother agent tells me about an event called IMTA, and she said, I think you're ready, I think you can do it, and I'd like to bring you with me. I'm like, period, let's go. I don't even know what this is.
Nervous breakdown.
I recently, 2 years ago, had a full circle moment where I ended up getting invited by IMTA to be a presenter for awards.
In the dark, please welcome to the stage, Shino Nakamichi.
It was crazy. The whole convention itself, it was great for networking, I'd say, and the workshops they had were insane. I mean, I learned a lot, and it wasn't just me, it was my mother as well, who didn't know as a parent how to help me, right? I was 15, I was still a minor, there were so many permits I had to get, and she was my reader, she was filming all my auditions, and IMTA helped her as much as it helped me. So I ended up getting a few offers, and I ended up getting signed with an agent in New York, and my mother agent now represents me as my manager. Now this is when my real like professional acting career starts. My first on-camera role I ended up getting was during IMTA, and it was for a pilot. The genre was horror. I'm such a scaredy cat, I don't really watch too much horror, so I'm just thinking, how am I gonna do this? And I had a palate expander and I had a lisp, and it was a lead. Did I mention that? I was so excited. I mean, this is when Jung Ho-yeon had made her debut with Squid Game. By the way, her and I have the same birthday. In my head, I'm just thinking, oh my god, she got this, I got this. I'm about to make my debut. This is it. This is literally how I'm about to get famous. Wrong. The pilot ended up not getting picked up, unfortunately. But I learned a lot of lessons. Everything that he told me, I still remember to this day. And I still apply it to my acting today. After this, one of the actors that was in the pilot was a casting director for this horror short film. She ended up casting me for the short film, and that was my second ever role in my life.
If her parents weren't so loaded, no one would want to hang out with her.
I was playing a mean girl in this. I was so nervous, and I was the youngest on set. I think I was 16 when I got it. But anyways, the director, Doug, he ended up using the short and putting it into a full anthology film called Halloween Candy. So if you guys want to watch that, you can. And a little secret, I'm in Halloween Candy too. In February of 2022, I did a voiceover audition for a role my agent had sent me. I was very new to doing voiceover auditions. I didn't have a mic. I was just using my phone and I was speaking into it in my closet. I got offered the role of young Sally for Orion in the Dark, which streams on Netflix and was produced by DreamWorks. I'm on Netflix. Surprise.
Oh, that's my mom. I gotta go.
I thought, this is it. I made it. But I had done 100 auditions repeatedly, back to back to back to back, and I didn't get any, and I wasn't hearing back from any. It was tough. I just tried so hard not to let it get to me. And don't let it get to you. Do an audition, forget about it. Once you get the call back, that's when you can refocus on that, okay? That's a good piece of advice right there. Now we're gonna move on to 2023. In the summer, I ended up getting less auditions, most likely because the strikes were forming, and I ended up going to the New York Film Academy in New York. And on my first day there, I ended up meeting this girl named Elle, who was not planning on going to college after she graduated high school, and neither was I. So we're talking, right? And she says, "Oh, you're not going to college? Well, I'm thinking of moving to LA and I need a roommate." In my mind, I thought she just met me. This is just a little joke, you know, but I was like, yeah, let's do it, you know, let's keep in contact. We kept in contact. We both graduated high school, and in that summer we graduated, we moved to LA together. I know, insane. My second ever in-person audition ended up being in 2024, and I ended up booking it, and here's the clip.
I choose a different path. Growth.
What was really cool about this one was that it was for a mental health campaign, which was awesome, and they ended up putting it on it was on the NASDAQ screen in Times Square. The first 3 months I lived in LA, I didn't get a job. I was like, I want to just do acting full time. Let me see what I can do with acting, right? No. I wasn't really applying to background jobs too much. I just didn't want to do them. Like, I wasn't getting anything, okay? The strikes were happening. I wasn't getting anything, and I refused to do background. And I ended up taking this class with this actor named Riley Smith. He told me, you know, as an actor, it's not a bad thing to get a job, to, you know, have money and provide for yourself while you do auditions. I was like, oh, he's so right. I was employed. I worked at a restaurant for my first year here. I mean, it got me a car, it paid rent. Mind you, it's not like I wasn't fully doing acting. I ended up going back to New York a couple times. I was in an Apple TV show called Your Friends and Neighbors. And I did like background for a Nordstrom commercial. I'll put the clip in right here. You're gonna see me, okay? Enjoy. So yeah, I did things like that, and I did I was also in another anthology called VHS Halloween, but I mainly focused on working and just getting money. I didn't love living in LA too much. I grew up in the East Coast. It's really hard for me to get used to after a full year of living here. I was like, do I stay here or do I go back home? I went back home and I looked at a few apartments. I just thought, oh, like, this is where I grew up. You know, this is where I didn't want anyone to find out I did acting. What am I gonna do here? In LA, I want everyone to know I do acting. That's the first thing I tell people. So I just thought, okay, I'm staying in LA. I actually really love LA. And I stayed in LA and I got another job. So I was working 2 jobs. Oh my gosh. I moved here to have more creative freedom and do acting. There was no acting done. I had no time to think or feel or anything. I decided I'm done. I quit both of my jobs. Because in my mind, I just thought, if I keep playing it safe, nothing's gonna happen for me. So I quit. And now I do acting full time. And we are doing a lot better than our first attempt at doing acting full time, I'll tell you that much. I am doing a lot more background jobs, which I honestly have learned so much through them. And I've met so many different people, so I love it. I have done so many amazing auditions and gotten so many callbacks this year. So you know what? It's been great. It's scary, but it's been great. And the best part is that I'm here making this video, sharing my story with all of you. I hope this inspires some of you to pursue your dreams, do what you're passionate in. We really only live one life, guys. Make the best of it. Okay, if you enjoyed this video, give it a like, comment, subscribe, share, follow me on Instagram, TikTok, whatever. It'll mean the world to me. I love you guys. Thank you for watching. Bye.